Hello, welcome to Girlfright. I'm Annie Smith and this is Rachel Statham. I think there. Today we're going to be talking about Dawn of the Dead and zombie flesh eaters. Now, zombie flesh eaters is also known as Zombie 2, but we are actually talking about the same film. Firstly, Dawn of the Dead. I believe you hadn't seen this one before either, had you, Rachel? And you liked it?
Generally, just safely say that from now on and forever that I haven't seen them before until this.
You did like this one?
I thoroughly enjoyed Dawn of the Dead. I thought it was great. I thought it was a mixture of hilarious and thrilling. I was a bit confused. I was a little confused when it first began, because it's quite. You really just jump into people talking over people. It's just straight into the action. No.
I think it's supposed to be that like chaotic feeling. It's supposed to just plonk you into where they are and let you see what's going on.
Yeah, well, so Dawn of the Dead is actually a sequel to Night of the Living Dead, which was released 10 years before.
Yeah, filmed in black and white.
The
absolute iconic film.
Yeah. So in Night of the Living Dead, just to give the Dawn of the Dead bit of context, radiation from a fallen satellite causes the recently deceased to rise from the grave and
get up and walk again.
And use the living as food. Keep the living as food. So then it sort of, it steps into the story after that, but doesn't really give you a time frame of how much time has passed since Night of the Living Dead. It just begins as Dawn of the Dead. They're in the TV. It starts in a TV studio.
Yeah.
Everyone's just
and you've got the news anchor and the person he's interviewing arguing, and they don't realise they're on air to begin with, and then they start arguing the same way but a lot more polite when they realise they're being.
So uncomfortable music, people shouting over people, just everything a bit chaotic. They're arguing, do you believe the dead are coming to life?
They're arguing about how to deal with it as well. It's like you need to either
in the brain
or decapitate them, and then the counter argument is these people are allowed to have dignity in death, and it's like, isn't it a bit late for that at this point? Which it probably is. That shark has jumped. Someone else saying, if we'd listened, it wouldn't have come to this. I got the feeling at that point it would feel somewhat familiar, but that's none of my business.
So the whole generally the Dawn of the Dead is everything's already chaos.
Yeah,
the chaos, and it's sort of
we don't get a preamble to it. We're just right in.
Group of people who are sort of fleeing the central city and trying to find peace or solace, or trying to get away from the situation, and that's how the story unfolds. And
there's the classic image of zombies in this. And obviously Night of the Living Dead as well, just this slow groaning, pale, just arms out, that kind of thing. Didn't actually need to wear my Misfits t-shirt today.
Perfect. Perfect. You might want to stand up and
waggle it around a little bit. wasn't on purpose, but here we are. There's loads of nice little visuals in this film that I really like where the door's barricaded and you can just see all these arms coming through it, and then they just burst through. It's just loads of just nice little shots that just make it a nice film. Well, I say a nice film, a good film.
It's an interesting movie. I think it's not just really about the horror of the zombie situation. It mainly focuses on the fact that in fact in these situations the true evil becomes humans.
And the fact that no one knows what to do.
and their reaction to the situation is often. Oh, got a bit of cat butt in the background there. That's Tim.
I do apologise. That's the scariest thing you'll see all day.
Both movies put together.
But yeah, there's all the people in the basement, all of the zombies, and the police choose to shoot them, but everybody else hadn't, and it's like, why not? And people said because they still believe there's respect in dying. It's like
still possess respect.
No one really knows what to do, because it's like they're already dead though, and they could go and kill everybody else, and it's a drive for food. It's not a drive for anger or vengeance or anything like that.
SWAT team in the beginning, they start off in an apartment complex and they're storming through it, and they're shooting whatever they see. Well, there's one character especially who's just going in guns blazing, like absolutely loving it, just using the N-words, hateful, clearly racist. Happy as Larry to be
far too excited.
Shoot when he wants, without really caring, and he gets tackled to the ground. He gets shot or something again, because
it's probably quite satisfying for him to get tackled to the ground.
Really, the SWAT team have a bit more heart. Then we start seeing the first zombies. There's actually, they seem to be blue. They're actually painted grey.
Yeah, you get a bit of white, a bit of blue. It's a camera versus makeup, isn't it, really? But they're good.
No, it certainly separates them from the humans. I think it's because they were started off in black and white. In Night of the Living Dead, it was in black and white, and then Dawn of the Dead is in colour.
I do enjoy the zombies in this film.
Yeah, definitely. Very, very comical. They have a few different zombie characters as well, which we'll get to.
We do. I have a particular favourite.
I feel like we might have the same favourite. So it's not just completely every zombie is the same character. They bring life to the zombies.
Yeah, bring new deaths.
Yeah.
So we've got the woman from the newsroom who's called Francine, and the fella Stephen, who are gonna go to the helicopter and make a break for it. And they stop to refuel, and there's pandemonium there with zombies and two of the police officers as well, Peter and Roger, and they end up being the little gang of four. They're our Scooby gang for this.
So they're the SWAT team, and they're part of the SWAT team, and they're sort of running from the situation in a way, trying to get away. Renegade SWAT team.
Yeah.
There's no hope, and that nobody seems to have any heart.
I really enjoy both Peter and Francine as characters in this film.
Me too. Yeah.
Like, I've read a lot about the actress. She's called Galen Ross, who plays Francine, and
I'm not gonna lie. At first, I did find it to be a bit pathetic when they first land the helicopter to refuel, and there's a zombie coming, and she's just like looking at them like.
Well, the actress who plays her actually refused to scream in this film, and she wouldn't do it. And George A. Romero tried to get her to do it once, and she told him off so badly he never asked again.
She wanted to do as a strong female character.
She does somewhat develop. Like, there's a bit later on who says
she starts demanding things, and I really like that. She at one point she gets left without a gun.
Thanks, Action Stephen, I call him. He's like Action Man, except he has no idea what he's doing, and he puts other people in danger. And I'm like, Action Stephen ran in again, no reason, because of course he did. That's what Action Stephen does in this film. He has no character progression. He's just like, ooh, a gun, let me go and shoot some zombies because I'm obviously better at it than anybody else. And he isn't. He's worse at it than anybody else. Francine, in my notes, she goes on a little thing to Peter saying, don't treat me any differently. I'm not going to be den mother for you, and there are four of us here to make decisions. And he's just like, okay.
Yeah,
kind of have to agree. At that point, what are you going to do? Go, no, there aren't 4 people here. She'd probably kill you at that point.
What happens after they originally land? They obviously realise that they can't get any fuel. Everywhere is drained out, and they can't really. Their original plan to go to Canada seems to be thwarted. So they end up holed up in a shopping centre, which I'm not going to lie, I feel like that's like the dream of a lot of, kids, young children, or like now, it'd be pretty cool just to be locked up in a big shopping centre, just to do whatever you want.
That's part of the reason that the zombies actually go there. They say it's instinct. It's something that they used to do before, and it made them happy. Like it was part of their life, and that becomes pertinent later with the motor memory of just them doing what they did before. That's a integral plot point.
Yeah.
Now,
it's really captures the idea of just day-to-day life today. Well, not today. Not so. Nobody's going out and doing anything now, but the sort of zombie-like consumerism.
Yeah.
It's just instinct memory replicating what they used to do in their regular lives. Sort of almost the only impression of humanity. So they settle in this shopping centre, which seems to work out pretty well for them. They've got food, they've got water, they seem holed up.
Gets fancier and fancier.
Zombies don't seem to be going.
Yeah, and eventually they put all the vans at the entrances, don't they, that they find, and then the place is essentially free of zombies, and they can move freely in there for a little while. It's like, and they've got a nice flat and stuff,
Yeah, they set it all up. It's pretty sweet deal. You go,
looks normal for a while.
Have a makeover scene, which I think is my favourite thing in the whole thing. So they go shopping. So they've managed to hold themselves up. They've got all their ammunition. They're all sorted. They're happy as Larry, and they just they get a full-on makeover. All of them
they have a little fun for a while, don't they?
Yeah, Peter in his little red jumper.
They have a lot of fun for a while, and even the scenes where
Peter's playing on shooting games.
Yeah, even the scenes where Peter and Roger are clearing out the zombies, like before Stephen joins them, they look like they're having a lot of fun. It's not all doom and gloom in this, so that's kind of nice.
In the mall is quite a lot of comical music. It's not just serious. It's not too serious, which apparently it is more purposely more comical than Night of the Living Dead. Romero wanted it to sort of be filmed in the style of a comic book.
At one point, I noticed that Stephen got pick and mix, and he was weighing it out.
Yeah, they seem to be adding up the prices and stuff. So.
Why are you getting a bag on the scales and weighing your pick and mix? So I barely even did that in Walmart. Just shit in your mouth.
The zombies don't seem to be able to get through glass. You can't get through it.
You just put the pick and mix in your mouth, especially when there's a zombie apocalypse on, but not exclusively, only when there's a zombie apocalypse on. But honestly, when I first watched this film though, I thought it's got a lot of parallels to now and how people are dealing with things, obviously. And then I thought, you know what? If people weren't just running at the zombies saying it's some sort of liberal hoax, then it's not true. But again, that's none of my business.
It definitely brings up the way that different groups of people have reacted to this scenario. They sort of bring in the rednecks. So when
apparently the rednecks really came. They had a load of hunters and the National Guard and everything all just turned up because they wanted to have fun.
They volunteered to be in the movie free. They didn't even want to get paid.
Yeah.
Just so that they could shoot things and have fun and be in a movie.
Yeah.
Really.
That's exactly what they would do in the film though as well. They just turned up to have a beer and shoot zombies.
Yes. The extras in this movie was quite underfunded. The extras in this movie apparently got $1, a donut, and a Dawn of the Dead t-shirt.
I read that. You know what? I bet that those shirts are worth a fortune though.
And another funny little thing is, like the zombies in all the mall scenes, they apparently would often go to it said that it would be filmed at night. So they often go to get their makeup done, go to the local bars, and then film while basically pissed at bars.
Yeah, didn't some of them like knock down a big marble pillar?
They drove a golf cart into a marble pillar, £7,000 worth of damage in the mall.
Wow.
So it may have made it more realistic.
Being underfunded though, they must have been mad.
But yeah, they drank themselves into a pillar. Also, the mall, the filming in the mall was done between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. The only reason why it had to finish at 6 a.m. is because they didn't know, like the mall music came on at 6 a.m. and they didn't know how to turn it off. They filmed them like until 10:30, but they had to stop filming at 6 a.m.
Or just get on with it with the music.
They couldn't film anymore.
There's a lot of nice little Easter eggs and things in this film. Have we come to your favourite zombie yet?
Right. So when they first get to the mall, they're in the SWAT team decide to barge into the mall to get everything that they might need or want.
Yeah.
While they're down there, Stephen also decides to join them. So Fran is left on her own upstairs.
He takes a gun as well, doesn't he?
Yes. And
take a pair of gun, and he's just like, I'll have that, and I'm going.
Yeah, so she's left alone upstairs, and so then appears the Hare Krishna zombie.
That was mine too. That's mine too.
It was a habit of going to the mall and pestering people.
Oh.
Well, I quite enjoy Hare Krishna. Or, I think it's quite cheerful. Not everybody would, but she gets is with by this this Hare Krishna zombie, which I started laughing.
I thought it was quite sweet that even after death he's still holding his little tambourine.
Yeah, he's still got it.
Like, he didn't feel the need to put that down or anything like that. He still just got it.
Yeah, so
he's actually quite sweet. I was a bit mad when she was scaring him with flares.
No, he just wants to be loved.
Maybe not. Maybe.
So, after that scene, and they seem to get what they want, the guys, and they come back upstairs and they, fight off the Hare Krishna zombie, and off he dies. And I can't really tell at that point if maybe Fran's been bit or something, but she doesn't seem very well, and they're talking about her in the other room without even just any sort of acknowledgement of her existence. And then it comes up that she's pregnant.
I think she's just a bit holding.
Pardon?
I think she's just a little bit shell shocked by the whole situation and what's happened and stuff.
Yeah. After that, she literally shouts at them and says that she needs a gun and we need to learn how to fly the helicopter. We all need to learn how to fly the helicopter. She actually says just like some pretty.
Yeah, like what if anything happens to them? Is she's stuck there forever?
Yeah.
But yeah, and after that scene, no, just.
Fran turns out to be quite sensible at that point.
No, she does. She really comes into her own throughout the film and does end up a much stronger character. More throughout the film. You see
and like straight away she starts like shooting the zombies in the head. I'm like, wow, she's a fast learner. Never.
Yeah, my aim would not learn that quick. I'm telling you. Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say they after that they do block off they had the idea to block off the doors to the mall so that they can be safer.
It's just like a normal mall for a while, isn't it?
But while they're doing that, they sort of like start to get a bit too much bravado, and I think I could tell before anything happened that something was probably going to happen. you know, like just too much testosterone, too cocky with themselves and with everything else.
I've actually got written down that too many endorphins.
Too many endorphins.
Yeah, because Roger starts talking all cocky like Stephen was before, like really enjoying shooting them and really going at it. And I think it's just because he's got so like high on the fact that he's the surviving and the, you know, the managing to kill them and they're winning essentially, and it just spells doom. I think it's all just gone to his head, and he's just living, just being it, you know, not getting zombie eaten. He was like,
not for long, Roger, not for long.
Yeah, not for long. Well, literally next thing he gets bitten, doesn't he? And then when they go on the little mall things, he's actually in a wheelbarrow and they're just wheeling him around.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a gun, so they go back into the mall and they put him in a wheelbarrow, got a gun, and he's just shooting from his little wheelbarrow. You think he's doing all right, really, but yeah, slowly but surely gets infected by the
he deteriorates more and more
virus, and comes to a rather sad and sticky end.
Well, there's a particularly notable little phrase from Peter as well. Like, I think it's Francine who says, you know, what are they? What are these zombies? And he says, they're us. There's no more room in hell. His granddad was a voodoo priest in Trinidad and said, when there's no more room in hell, the dead shall walk the earth. That's like the notable. That's like the tagline on the posters, isn't it?
And it is really great. It feels good to say as well. When there's no more room in hell, the dead walk. Yeah.
Well, it kind of reminded me of that line in The Tempest, hell's empty and all the devils are here. Made me think, is the shipwreck parallel? Like, obviously in The Tempest, the shipwreck's on the little island, and is the idea that they're like the little islands of humanity with all these zombies around them. I thought maybe that was accidental, but maybe it was a thing that was supposed to make. Maybe it's a connection that was supposed to see. I don't know. Next line I've got, Roger starts to look funky.
Bit funky, yeah.
Yeah, feeling a bit funky.
Yeah, I think during this movie there's a few point of view shots that I quite like from the gun, from the gun shot, profile. Yeah, they seem to zoom in on the zombie's head and then just shoot it. they do that quite a few times in the movie.
I noticed as well that some of the zombies, or the individuals rather, were really interestingly dressed when they were turned. Like this one who looks like she's wearing some sort of ice skating outfit. It's like you're shopping in the mall or something similar. Like you got bitten when you were like really interestingly dressed.
Well, the thing is that they might have been somewhere else because it was instinct that there was stuff that they would normally do. So they went to the mall on the instinct. So I think they could have been bit somewhere else. And they zombied their way towards the mall. A nice little zombie shop.
It's like they say, don't they, about ghosts? It's like, be careful what you wear, because if you die, that's what you're wearing for the rest of eternity.
Never thought about that.
Same go for zombies. Yeah.
You've got to be more careful about what we wear.
Because if you get mowed down on that's what you're in. But yeah, it's there's lots of nice little bits in this that are funny. Roger obviously gets dispatched by Peter at some point because he was
it's kind of humane,
too funky for too long.
Yeah, it's kind of, he did become a zombie after all.
Yeah,
he did say, "I'm going to try not to come back," but I guess he didn't.
Yeah. Well, one thing I liked is that like they had the conversation and it was given more of like a fanfare. It was featured. And the fact that Peter actually did shoot him was just kind of glossed over. It's like the action wasn't the important thing. The discussion about it was, so I did like that. Thought that was an interesting little bit.
Yeah. After he has passed on and been shot in the head, they're all sort of looking a bit sad, really. I think it's quite funny. There's a little scene that cuts to Fran sat on bench. And she sat outside the maternity store. And I don't know if it's like it's just supposed to be subtle, but I just thought it just tickled me a little bit.
At this point, though, we get to the fact of other people,
Just
He does.
before that happens, though, they do have like a fancy meal. They have a bit of romance. Fran and
I forgot about that part.
yeah, Fran and Stephen, aka Fly Guy, have a bit of a romantic meal.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it must be difficult to find time for romance in a zombie apocalypse. But you've always got to work on your relationships no matter what.
Mm-hmm. You would think you had more time, but you don't.
Yeah. But yeah, Stephen proposes to him, and I find this quite funny because he knows there's not really any future. It's the apocalypse. They're probably going to die sooner or later. Finally managed to make a commitment because, well, I'm going to die. I don't need to worry about spending the rest of my life with you. It's going to be short.
Yeah, but she said it wouldn't be real, didn't she? That's why she refused.
Right.
But it's like, I think it'd be as real as anything else.
Yeah, you may as well, I suppose.
May as well. Now say that. That's what she should have said. May as well.
Wow, I'm so romantic.
But yes, raiders.
Yes, it gets very Mad Max at this point.
Lots of raiders. To be honest, the chap, the main bike raider, reminded me too much of the one from Dusk Till Dawn. What was he called? Sex Machine or something? And he had like the clock gun. I don't even know if he's the same guy. He might be the same guy, but he looks a lot like. And that's all I could think about then. And it kind of ruined my attention span for the film. But no, some great scenes going on there. We've got custard pie zombies. That was fun.
Yes, really loved that. So apparently it was a joke when they were making Night of the Living Dead that they could throw pies at each of the zombies. But yes, in this one they bring it to life, as it is allowed in a more comical way of things.
You see, they're like
at this point you realise that shit's hitting the fan. And the thing is, these zombies, they were able to live with the zombies quite a lot more peacefully than they are with the humans. They're, thirsty and they're fighting with the humans, not the zombies.
I mean, Peter just says to stay out the way and let the bikers and the zombies just have at it. And Action Stephen rolls into action again and decides that he doesn't want to do this. Action Stephen is he says it's ours, the mall's ours, we took it. So he gets into a gunfight with the bikers and then gets shot and then gets bitten. Action Stephen is the worst action man ever.
Action Stephen. Yeah, we're going to buy that one for all the kids who want to do things half-heartedly. Half-assed.
And I'd buy him and just wave him around as a warning to others. Like, don't be Action Stephen. But yeah, he gets shot and then he gets bitten. And then we have Zombie Stephen, which this was why it was pertinent earlier that they follow like motor instinct, because when he turns into Zombie Stephen, he leads all the other zombies to where they were living, because that's the route he was used to taking, so that's what he did. Leads all the zombies there. Peter kills them. Francine escapes to the roof, and eventually Peter goes with her as well to fly off into God knows where or what.
Yeah, I mean, at first Peter's like, I'm going to stay here, and then he's like, oh, actually, no, not having any of that, I think. I might as well leave. I was a bit like, why are you staying there? Why don't you just climb up the ladder and then kick the ladder down? They clearly don't know how to do that, so...
I think you just try to leave,
The end of this doesn't really, it's not the end of the zombie.
That's something I like, though. I enjoy the fact that it's not wrapped up or anything. You're just seeing this story, this part of their experience of it. It comes in and it goes out, and we don't get to experience a nice package as the viewer. We get to see their time doing that, and that was it. It's like they'll go somewhere else and there'll be a whole other film in it.
Yeah,
maybe that was the point.
I do really enjoy in the scene as well, like the scenes just before. Just after Flyboy gets destroyed, all the rednecks are dead.
Flyboy, we haven't mentioned that yet.
Well, he flies the helicopter, so it sort of.
Yeah.
The comedy music in the mall begins again, and then the zombies sort of commence shopping.
Yeah.
And dressing, and spending money, so that the zombies are sort of like doing things,
Yeah,
regular things, and I think we see them skating as well.
yeah, they're just doing things that,
Ice skating.
I mean,
Not
I think that
I was expecting to see, but it was quite funny.
I think that things like that are quite pertinent because it's in the same way that people just do the same motions over and over again because that's what they used to do. I think that that's kind of it. It's like that they're just going on motor memory. So is everyone who just wants to go to the mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did enjoy this film a lot. But what I found is on this particular viewing that it didn't for me have like the genuine excitement factor as some other films that I've rewatched lately, like Halloween or Candyman or that. Like I'm like a kid. I genuinely really enjoy them. Like as soon as you start to watch Halloween and there's that pumpkin and the music and like I'm so like excited.
You feel
so
almost strange warmth.
like I so like I so want to watch it at that point. Like I'm ready, but with this, I just don't feel like I had that level of excitement to rewatch. But I did enjoy the rewatch. But some other ones that I've rewatched, I've enjoyed a lot more. Like I've got an extra level of enjoyment, not an extra level less of enjoyment, if that makes sense.